People will tell you honesty is the best policy, and I agree mostly. But here's the thing, full transparency is a myth. No one gets all of you, and they shouldn't. Because the moment you hand out every detail of your life, you give away your power. And if you think that sounds a little guarded, good. Today, I'm going to share the 3 things a woman should always keep to herself, not because she's hiding, but because she's protecting. Well, let me walk you through something I've learned the hard way. Boundaries aren't just about saying no. They're about knowing who you are, where you stand, and what parts of you are not up for public discussion. And here's the twist. Most people don't actually set boundaries. They just react when they've already been crossed. That's backwards. You don't wait for someone to step over the line before deciding there's a line. You draw it before they even get close. When you have clear boundaries, you're telling the world, this is where I end, and this is where you begin. And that's not rude. That's healthy. The problem is we've been conditioned to think that being open means giving people access to all of us all the time. We equate availability with kindness. But if you hand everyone an all access pass to your life, don't be surprised when some of them wander into rooms they don't belong in. Think about it like your home. You don't let strangers rummage through your bedroom drawers just because they walked in the front door. You have spaces that are private, even from people you love. It's the same with your life. You can be warm, generous, and open-hearted without letting people dig into every thought, every plan, and every piece of your history. The challenge is some folks will test those boundaries, not always out of malice, sometimes just out of curiosity. They'll ask questions that are none of their business, press for details you're not ready to share, or expect access to your time and energy on their schedule, not yours. And here's where most people trip up. They think if they don't answer, if they don't say yes, they're being cold. But the truth, you can decline with grace. You can protect your space without becoming defensive. It's not about being secretive. It's about being selective. Boundaries also protect your energy. Every time you give away a piece of yourself to someone who hasn't earned it, you create an opening for their opinion to shape you. And if you do that often enough, you start making choices for them instead of for you. You're no longer living your life. You're managing their perception of you. That's exhausting. And this is especially important for women because society has a way of rewarding self-sacrifice and punishing self-protection. You're told you're so sweet when you overextend and hard to deal with when you draw the line. But boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They're guardrails to keep you from falling into situations that drain you or compromise your values. Here's the thing. When you set a boundary, some people will respect it and some will try to push past it. How they react tells you more about them than it does about you. The ones who get offended that you won't overshare, they're not mad because they care. They're mad because you're not giving them control. That's a clue. And you should pay attention to it. The most powerful boundaries are the ones you don't have to explain over and over. You state them once, you live them out consistently, and you let your actions do the talking. Because here's what happens. People start to learn where the edges are. They realize you won't be guilted into giving more than you're comfortable with. They know you'll listen, you'll support, you'll show up, but not at the expense of your own well-being. And when you get good at this, something incredible happens. You stop feeling guilty for protecting yourself. That guilt starts to fade, replaced by this quiet, steady confidence. You realize you can be fully present with people without giving away pieces of yourself you can't get back. You stop explaining why your boundaries exist because you know they're not up for debate. So here's what I want you to remember. Your boundaries are not just rules for other people. They're reminders for you too. Reminders that your time is valuable, your mind is worth protecting, and your private life is not public property. Because at the end of the day, the only person who's going to live with the consequences of your choices is you. And if that means some people think you're too private or too guarded, so be it. Better to be misunderstood than to be misused. One of the fastest ways to kill a dream is to tell everyone about it before it's ready. I know that sounds counterintuitive because we're taught that sharing our goals creates accountability. But here's the reality. When you open the door too soon, you're inviting a crowd into a space that's still under construction. And not everyone who walks in will be rooting for you. When you share your next move before it's solid, you give other people the chance to weigh in. And trust me, they will. They'll tell you why it won't work. They'll tell you about the time their cousin tried something similar and failed. They'll point out every flaw they can imagine, not because they're necessarily against you, but because most people respond to uncertainty with caution. And that caution can start to rub off on you. It's like planting a seed in a garden. You don't dig it up every few days to show people it's growing. You protect it. You give it time to develop roots. You let the process work before you put it on display. Your plans deserve the same care. They need the privacy to take shape without the noise of other people's opinions drowning out your own conviction. There's another layer to this. When you tell people your plans, your brain gets a little dopamine hit just from saying it out loud. It feels like progress. You get the satisfaction of the vision without doing the work yet. And if you do that too often, the motivation to actually finish can start to fade. It's the same reason some people talk about going to the gym more than they actually go. Talking about it gives them just enough of a sense of accomplishment that they don't feel as much urgency to act. The truth is, people can't sabotage what they don't know about. And that's not just about protecting yourself from malicious intent. It's about protecting your focus from distraction. The more voices you invite into your decision making, the harder it is to hear your own. Some people will try to reshape your plan to match what they would do. Others will want updates before you're ready to give them. And before you know it, your attention is split between building your future and managing their expectations. I've seen this happen over and over. Someone starts out strong, but because they announce their next move too soon, they spend more time defending it than actually executing it. They start second guessing themselves because the people they told don't understand the vision. And here's the thing, how could they? It's not theirs. They didn't see what you saw in the middle of the night when the idea first sparked. They don't feel the drive in your chest when you think about it. They can't see the finished picture in your mind. That's why keeping your plans private until they're strong enough to stand on their own is one of the most powerful things you can do. It's not about being mysterious or secretive for the sake of it. It's about giving your ideas the respect they deserve. It's about making sure you're not building something fragile in a storm of opinions. And when you do finally share it, you'll be doing it from a place of strength. You'll be speaking about something that's already taken shape, something you can show rather than just explain. And that changes everything. People respect results more than promises. You won't have to convince them, it'll be obvious. So yes, dream big, plan boldly. But in those early stages when your next move is just starting to take form, guard it. Give it the quiet it needs to grow without interference. Let your actions be the announcement. Because sometimes the most powerful statement you can make is the one you don't say until it's done. How you actually feel in a given moment is one of the most valuable pieces of information you have. And it's one of the most dangerous things to hand over freely. The moment you show your full emotional temperature to everyone around you, you give them a roadmap for how to affect you. And not everyone should have that kind of influence. If someone knows exactly what frustrates you, exactly what scares you, exactly what lights you up, they can use it. Some will use it to support you, sure. But others might use it to push buttons, to get a reaction, or to steer you in a direction that serves them more than it serves you. And it doesn't always come from bad intentions. Sometimes it's just human nature. People respond to what they think they can control. This is why being in control of your emotional display is not about being fake. It's about being strategic. It's knowing when to share and when to hold back. There's a difference between being authentic and being unfiltered. Authenticity means your actions match your values. Unfiltered means you're giving out raw information that anyone can grab and run with. And if you do that too often, you're not just expressing yourself, you're giving